This is WAW! What a week.
What a week with DJ Fresh.
Welcome to WOW, What a Week, part of the Africa Podcast Network. Reach us at WAW at africapodcastnetwork.com. We survived the political party's PR exercise. Our stuff wasn't looted and we don't smell of... Actually, I smell of tire, but anyway. Or is it rubber? On this week's episode, we've got two people who deal with air, or rather one who's on the air and the other who floats through it. We've also got a guy who feels like he's walking on air with all his successes. And we've got Uncle Botsang to bring us all back down to earth.
This is WAW! What a week.
What a week. You can't make this shit up.
Our comedian this week has done things, performed on stages, and even been endorsed by people at an age that makes other comedians, well, want to throw things at him, including lightning. We thought we'd chat to him before he gets an even bigger and more popular head. Everyone, please welcome, all the way from Limpopo, Tsitsi, how do I pronounce your surname?
Chiumya.
Chiumya.
Yes.
Tsitsi. You have a BA in game design.
Yeah.
And you're like the first darky
Yeah.
to graduate as a game designer at WITS.
Yeah.
How did we get there? Because for me, it feels like this guy must be the black sheep of Limpopo. Because you're not an engineer, you're not a doctor, you're not a tenderpreneur. So how did you end up here?
Through magical powers.
Also, you are still not the black sheep. You've still got the magic.
Through the magical powers of my stepfather's pocket. That's how I got into game design. Because that's how I actually moved out of Limpopo.
Yes, sir.
I moved out of Limpopo because my mom got married to my stepfather.
Yes, sir.
And then from there onwards, like I just came here, started liking art.
So how old were you when you moved to Gauteng?
It was 2006, so I was 14. I was going to high school, so I started high school in Joburg.
But when you started high school, you barely spoke any English.
Yeah.
Like zero English.
Zero.
How?
Through the magical powers of my father's.
Like I don't understand.
So yeah, I mean,
Was there no English class in your high school or in your primary school?
funny enough, I went to the English medium school primary called Eureka in Limpopo. But then I thought like I was a cheese boy.
Yes.
Speak English and stuff. Then I came here.
No, but I knew you were not a cheese boy when you said Eureka and not Eureka.
What?
Eureka implies you're selling something and I must buy.
We failed the pronunciation of the only English school in Limpopo, in WAW, Eureka. It's supposed to be Eureka. It wasn't even called primary school. It was Eureka Project School. So it was a project they were trying to teach us.
Never test.
Yeah. Rami Training's mom was actually my teacher.
For real?
Yeah.
So what language did she, what subject did she teach you?
I forgot, but she used to, she was tough. Mem Training was tough. Yeah, she drove a Rough Rider, so we called the Mem Training Rough Rider. But she was tough. Back then when it was legal to...
When you could still...
Yes. She used to discipline
No, but by 2000 and what, it was not legal.
Eh?
It was not legal by then.
Okay,
So you still have a case.
Yeah, I'm reporting.
Unless there's a statute of limitation, you can still go back. Eh? Or just say, dear Ron, how much do you have? What's the first story that caught your attention this week?
It was, this week was a load shedding free weekend. I think this was amazing. Yeah, load shedding free weekend.
It was weird. Says the guy with solar.
No,
It was weird to look in our WhatsApp group, and see people complaining that they've got power. I was like, I've had power.
That's how you know you live in a white area. Because you have WhatsApp groups to discuss petty problems like no power. Imagine I'm on WhatsApp. Hey, when there's no power at my house, how is everybody feeling? No,
You've had no power for 20 years. What do you mean?
No, but for me it felt normal. Because I think South Africans, we are used to hardship.
Yes.
That we even identify with hardship. I remember how electricity felt like. So
It was the best feeling.
exactly, I was like, yeah, this is what I deserve.
In
to have
fact,
electricity.
I foresee a period where we will be speaking to our grandkids about, remember a time in 2023, thanks to the EFF, we had a full day of power. My children, those were great times.
Yeah, no, I support it. If they're gonna give us power, do the national shutdown or whatever.
So what did you do on that day that you had all this power? Yeah, you didn't know what to do with all this power.
Yeah, like, because load shedding, it creates a little bit of opportunity sometimes, or what?
Yes, sir.
Like, it turns platonic relationships weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we're both in the dark.
Exactly. Like, you are visiting. I guess it's a visit before the load shedding, and then kitty now it's a candlelight dinner.
Like, how did we end up here?
Exactly. Then you look at the next thing, you wake up in a bed you didn't make.
And now the lights are on. And you're like, oh, okay.
And they're asking you,
the kid was on.
asking me weird questions. Like, what are we Tsitsi? Oh, Sean Pinji. Great style last night, but
Arilo failed this assignment.
yeah, let's go back to our lives, please. So, yeah.
What else has caught your attention, my dude?
And then, look, I had a great week, DJ Fresh. Yeah. First, it was no load shedding. And then get a phone call from DJ Fresh.
Tell us about that phone call from this DJ Fresh guy.
Yeah, no. It was the weirdest phone call. And you saved it from almost becoming very awkward. Because in the beginning, when someone calls you and I saw that it's a big talk, DJ Fresh, I was like, cool.
Also, you had my number already?
Yeah, from a WhatsApp group.
Arrived.
We live in the same way.
Yes.
Yeah, I was one of the people complaining about the national shutdown. My name...
The blacks are restless again.
Yeah, no, I use my middle name in there, so it's Neftal. It's Tsitsi actually.
Oh, that's you.
Yeah.
Hey, Banna.
So, yeah. So what happened? Then I get a phone call from so I see it's just DJ Fresh on the... And then when I pick up the phone, like, to be honest, what startled me is how good you sounded in the morning.
I sound good all the time.
Exactly. I'm like, nobody's supposed to sound good all the time. Like, you wake up and you sound good. Hey, it's Tato. I'm like,
what?
Tato now.
I'm a bit concerned now.
Yeah.
Like, what were you feeling when you heard my voice? Yeah?
No, I felt like, hey, this man sounds
cool. 7.
But also for me, like, and here's the thing, right? Because we've met before, like when I was a child, and I told you about this. My uncle, you actually put him onto Y.
Yeah, yes, I
in
did.
The day. And
I put a lot of people on.
Yeah, no, you did.
Me, I make people. Me.
Yeah, no, that's why your shoulders are so heavy.
Me, I still carry a lot of the industry. Anyway, yes.
So, yeah. So I met you before.
No. So for those that don't know the story, let's go back to when we first met.
Yeah, when we first met, it was at the YFM studios. My uncle Tom was a DJ.
Yes, sir.
So my father took me and him to his first recording when he was playing a mix. And you actually even did a show with him in Alexander at TM. It's the second time we met. So I used to go out clubbing a lot just because I was really not interested in DJing, but I really loved the music and the environment of those
This guy has a nice voice all the time. I must hear it again. Yeah.
And back then, like, so for me, you were a giant. Like, you were this giant guy, and also you are a giant. And then you're a giant, and when you had those tattoos, when you got your tattoos, I was like, this guy's like a Samoan giant.
Yeah.
Then you call me on the phone, you're like, hey, this is Tato. I was like, Tato? Giant Tato. I have never seen a strong person called Tato in my life.
Yeah.
Because you look like you were born in the dumbbell section in a gym. Because the dumbbell section is not for everybody. It's not for walkers. No one just walks around the dumbbell section.
I was saying, when the midwife spanked me for me to cry, I was like, go on this day.
I'm in the middle of a set. I won't, sister. So yeah, that was the situation. So that was what's going on through my mind. And then you called and I'm like, yo, this guy sounds so good. And then I'm like, so no one's supposed to sound this good. And then I started doing the most awkward thing because you're like, thank you for coming to the show. I was like, yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, DJ Fresh. This is a big opportunity. I'll never do it. And then you were like, please don't make this phone call awkward.
You know, it's the weirdest thing when a person calls you and you have respect for them because of their art.
Yeah.
But they still treat you like front man. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, why are you making this awkward? You know?
Yeah, and that's what I realized. I realized that all that stuff happened. Now you just have to be a friend, or you have to just be cool with the situation.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and you helped me through that phone call, and I'm here today, and I feel like this is going nice. So shapa.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. You know what? One story for me that I believe, I feel like you can't make this ish up. So in Uganda, where queer folk have generally been under siege,
Yeah.
now the parliament, the legislators in Uganda on some, let's make it worse for everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, my biggest thing is all of a sudden there's a group of people who are saying, yeah, but let Uganda make their own laws. It's none of our business. But when we were in trouble
Yeah.
with apartheid laws,
Yeah.
we expected the world to stand up and say what you're doing is wrong. So now all of a sudden this double standard that we must let other countries do what they want,
Ish.
even those that are subjugating their own people. It doesn't make sense. And for me, the one thing that makes it difficult to even fathom how you can be okay with treating your fellow human beings like that is, as a black person
Yeah.
that has been persecuted, made to feel like you're second best, made to feel like you ain't ish
Yeah.
for thousands of years
Yeah.
because of how you were born. We want to stand up and say, because you were born this way, therefore you mustn't be allowed to exist within our community. It doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah, they're making homosexuality illegal, right?
In fact, there's even you will go to jail for attempted, like, how do I attempt to be gay?
Imagine you kiss your father on the lips or something.
It's like, okay, you are going to jail.
You
Goddamn.
are, you know this, yeah, you know those interviews, and it, like sometimes you see through social media that maybe these people really don't understand, or they're just choosing to be ignorant. I don't know which one it is. Like that interview with that newscaster who says,
So why are you gay?
exactly, that one. And you know, it goes further where he says, there is no sympathy for the heterosexual.
Yeah.
He says the LGBT, it's a L for lesbians, B, and then he says all of them, and he says, where is the H? Like, then you're like, man, there's no H in the whole thing.
It's wild that people are still wired like that.
Yeah.
That they think you can pray gay away.
Yeah.
That you can fix gay as if something is broken.
Yeah.
That you can legislate gay. Well, you cannot legislate gay away.
Yeah, I also don't even know how I would feel like if how I am was illegal.
It's how you were born. Now it's illegal all of a sudden.
Imagine my attractions are illegal.
That's why for me it makes no sense that black people who have been under siege for thousands of years don't understand what it feels like to say to a person, because of how you were born,
Yeah.
we don't see you.
Hi.
I think we can do better.
We can.
And unfortunately, this is not a case of you can't make this ish up, because we don't expect African governments to stand up and say this is a human rights violation. We don't expect it. So you guys can stay seated. We're not expecting you to stand up. What else is on your mind, my dude?
You know, this whole thing of this whole notion of us being so linked on apartheid, right?
Yeah.
I love the conversation, but I also feel like, for me personally, like, I didn't grow up in hectic apartheid.
Sure.
I grew up in it feels like we're so, that's the other thing, like we're so like we want to talk about that struggle so much, and it's so important, but at the same time, like, we have to also think about ways of coming back, because we're like waiting for people to care. They're never going to care. And they've shown us over the years that they're never going to care, but we are still saying, yeah, but you did. But at some point,
You know what? I think really we must remind people of where we come from. We must remind them.
Yes.
But we mustn't let us reminding them have us so debilitated that we don't move forward.
exactly. And I feel like, because a lot of the older generation, like when you talk to like people in my family and stuff like that, and it feels like they're stuck at a point of just being angry.
Yeah.
And I get their anger, and it's so warranted, and it's beautiful, but you know, care is a very different kind of thing. Out there, nobody cares about what anybody else.
You're still on your own. You're still on your own.
So like when you're in a place where people care about you, you utilize those moments to like really, really assert whatever you're feeling, to the point at which it hinders you to be able to be competitive out there. And I feel like that whole you know, struggle talk, it's doing that to a lot of our older generations. That's why every household has like an unemployed uncle that chills there and spoils the fun of not going to school. You know those uncles. You understand? Because for us, that's what we see. We just see a boring guy who's here and he's
eating my Danone.
Eating my Danone on a Wednesday in flip-flops around the house. You're like, So you see those kinds of things. That's what we see as children. He is suffering the consequences of whatever happened to him, and that is very warranted. But that's why I say, like, our generation, like the things that we see and the things that we've been equipped to think further about these things are just things that we don't really understand, but we are trying our best to move forward from the point at which we were born.
And I agree with you that you guys need to be the guys that move us forward, as long as you don't do it at the expense of the history that can't be rewritten and should not be rewritten.
Yeah.
Then I give you permission.
Yeah, definitely. But you are not going to talk about the history every day. Like, not going to every day when I listen. Like, because we have our own history.
I'll revoke your permission if you carry on like this.
No, sorry. But I'm saying, like, we also have our history that matters.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Anything else on your mind before we let you go?
Okay. Anything else on my mind is... Oh, I saw a story that was really funny. There was a guy caught in a Renault Clio that was stolen. And in this
people steal Renault Clios.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that that key that looks like a car.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Oh, you've never driven a Renault? You won't fit in a Renault Clio.
No. I listen. My first car was a Golf 1, so I can fit in any car.
But you were smaller back then.
No, I was like this. Remember, I was born in the dumbbell section.
Oh yeah.
Right now, you're being a dumbbell. If you forget how I was born, my dog.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot you.
So they stole. So a guy was caught in a stolen Renault Clio.
Caught in a stolen Renault Clio, and in his boot were 4 sheep.
Oh wow!
Cramped in the thing.
You can't make this up.
You can't make that up.
And what happened? What do you say?
We got arrested. We got sentenced to 5 years, and for me it was like a revelation when I thought, like, because he told the police he was doing it for money and all that stuff.
What, the sheep or the Clio?
Both.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's in the agricultural car theft industry. He steals cars like Toyotas usually, but the only thing left was a Renault Clio.
I want no jumpies. I will take a Clio. They'll never stop me in a Clio.
Yeah, they'll never suspect I have sheep. They'll never suspect I have sheep. So this guy had he had those things, and it proved. And he was explaining to police that he's doing it for money, and he looks like a genuine guy.
Sure,
he looks like a genuine, and that's what I realized. Like being like broke and stuff like that, it's claustrophobic. Yeah, when you're broke, everything you do is in groups. Can never do anything by yourself.
Story that caught my attention: the allegedly dead Facebook rapist killer was allegedly seen shopping. I don't know if you saw the.
Oh yeah, Tabo Bester.
Don't you guys? You actually almost look like him though.
Yeah.
Guys, please find a picture of Tabo and add beard to Tsitsi.
Ish.
You'll thank me later.
People are gonna start taking pictures of me like I'm in Maboneng. In Maboneng, you feel like a celebrity for nothing. Until they're trying to sell you those pictures. Hey, look at you, bro.
I mean, you feel like you're walking into ARD. You even do the walk. Until this guy's selling you pictures.
Yeah, if you're a celebrity and you feel down and you want to feel up, just go and walk in Maboneng and feel like you're paparazzi for days.
Until you realize everyone is getting pictures taken as a cow. Yeah?
And they're asking you to pay 20 rand. Who pays 20 rand for a digital picture?
But guys, let's support them though. It's a guy's hustle. Let's support it.
Of course. I was just being bit of a...
No, but I can also see you're trying to avoid the Tabo Bester story.
Yeah, man. Now, because people are gonna start taking pictures of me at Woolworths now. Now I can't shop at Woolworths. Now you are subjecting me to poverty. Now to shop right because of my own safety. But yeah, I saw the thing, and that thing is insane. Because that guy apparently died in prison.
Yeah.
But the body that they found is shorter than him. Guys, if you're going to kill somebody to try hide a crime, at least find the right size.
Do your research.
The right car. You understand? Make it look like me. Don't go like kill me and say it's me. Even the ash guys are, there's too much ash here.
But you know, when your body combusts, it grows, eh? So maybe that's what happened here. All of a sudden, Tsitsi is DJ Fresh in size, eh?
And you have the same big head.
Exactly. It's like, I know his head expanded. Yeah, we know Tsitsi's head is not this size.
Well, that's insane. I actually know somebody that claims to have met
Encountered him.
Yeah,
Like, for real.
outside of the thing, because they like some promotion. He was trying to do some promotion thing, probably back to doing whatever.
Yes.
He was doing.
Is this recently or back then?
This is like recently. Like,
You are lying.
I'm telling you, like when I saw that,
Are you saying you know someone that might or might not have seen me?
that claims to have
Yes.
seen him,
Oh, wow.
allegedly. So just
Then you said what to this person?
I didn't say anything. I just said, because I didn't even know who he was at the time. And
Yes,
when
yes,
we saw the thing, they're like, yo, that's the guy I met. I was like, wow.
For real?
Yeah, what a
That is
week.
wild. What is Tsitsi working on right now? Where can we find you? What are you doing?
This year, DJ Fresh is
Yeah.
my year of improving myself.
What does that mean?
Like, I want to improve myself. Like, I looked at my life, I was like, no, we need improvement.
Oil change. Service.
Yeah, I know something needs to change. So this year is a year where I'm going big. Like, I want to be, and I'm intentional about this thing. I want to be mentioned in the great names of the great comedians
Yes, sir.
from South Africa and around the world.
But 2018,
Yeah.
you were Savannah Comics Choice Award for Best Newcomer.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
2019, Comics Choice Awards Next Level Award.
Yeah.
It's only 3 years later.
Yeah.
So are you under pressure to keep the trajectory?
No, I saw how bad it
Constant.
can get during COVID.
Yes.
I was like, no.
COVID didn't care what award you won. Eh?
Never. He give you another award.
Give you an award. Yachala, eh? Here's a hunger.
Hey, I was professional on that thing. And that time you have COVID, drinking med lemon. Imagine, can't even. But no, I did. I actually had a very good COVID.
In fact, I was going to say, because comedian Sepo Mohale spoke about how during COVID he had to literally go back home and he was sleeping on his brother's couch. How bad was it for you? Or you cruising?
No, I didn't cruise, but it was a lot of changing. And also, I was lucky because I had just released my first special, So Naive, at the time.
Yes.
And then, like, I had a savings, my stepdad, he taught me a lot about saving and all that stuff. So, like, I was fine. And then also there were a lot of opportunities that were opening up online. And I started asserting myself in those opportunities. And that kind of worked. We cruised through COVID. Also, I have a very supportive partner that's also working. So we were able to people were suffering.
It got bad. I was literally doing groceries for up to 11 people in our industry every month.
You understand?
It got that bad.
Yeah,
So Naive was your first special. What was in there? What kind of stuff do you talk about in So Naive?
How I was so naive about moving to Joburg and thinking that things are going to happen. They didn't happen.
What's the first thing that didn't happen?
The first thing that didn't happen, I came here, I felt like I was a superstar when I was doing in the industry. First time performing with Trevor Noah, I felt like people are going to know me.
You were nationwide.
Yes, I was nationwide. I thought that was going to happen. And some pop-ups actually came up to me that same night. And he said, yo, man, this is you getting introduced into the industry. So you have to start working further and asserting yourself more in the industry.
Yes.
So those are the kind of things I was naive about. Friendships and like thinking that like performing with this person's
all of a sudden I've arrived.
Yeah.
Travel taking to New York.
You understand? I had those things. I had those thoughts. I had those. So there was a lot about those things. And just a young person growing up and the naiveties that you have to go through. I don't know if naivety is a word.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe dictionary page 65. But
or the black dictionary, Bobari. Yeah? No?
You coming for me today, ne? I agree you said we are friends now. You don't move my throat, man, so I can rock you now.
Before I let you go, I mean, you represent WAW in Limpopo.
Yes.
What would you like to say to a kid in a village right now that has big dreams, that like you never even thought I'd one day be in a big bad city like Jozi?
So here's the thing I would say to them is that be yourself, right? A lot of people like give me flack about the fact that I don't do comedy in Beatty, or I don't talk about certain things, but I didn't grow up like that.
Exactly.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that I am from Luwakhoma. I do represent Luwakhoma, and people from Luwakhoma need to be proud of that if they are proud of the kind of work that I do. And I represent, like for me, it feels like I represent the whole culture of other people. There's a lot of artists that come out of Luwakhoma. You know the cartoon, the Mzansi's got Magic 4? It's a guy from Luwakhoma. Shebe Shit, a guy from Luwakhoma. Rami Chweni, a guy from Luwakhoma.
A girl. Rami might be tough, but she's a girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
She's a girl.
Sorry, you see, I don't recognize... Yeah, I recognize everyone.
Everyone is a guy in your ear.
Yeah, funny enough, like in my English brain, like whenever I talk about a person, I imagine them as a guy, and I'm sorry for that. I should change.
Rami, you're one of my favorite girls. It's like girl. Don't believe him.
Sorry, Mr. Rango. I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's what I want. And like I said, this year I want to be taken seriously into those spaces of like being one of the great comedians. Maybe under the Skumbas, the Svisonenes, the Popses.
Why do you have to be under anyone when you could be starting your own?
Yeah, and I'm saying like in terms of the comedy conversation.
Oh yes, as in the next wave.
Yeah, so we are the wave that talks about things that we talk about. Sure. It's very youthful. It's very caring. It's a lot about human beings and our experiences of what we're experiencing right now.
Absolutely.
So I want to be in those conversations, and I would tell anybody from Luwakhoma is that just do what you want to do, because people are going to judge you anyway. You know, I got booed at a show in Luwakhoma because I spoke English, and the year before the show went great, and then the year after, you know, that really broke my heart. And
jeez.
Yeah, but I'm going to do a show in Luwakhoma. I'm going to do the lyric this year, and I'm going to sell it out. And that's my plan of like really asserting myself into this.
Shapa. Where do we find you on social media, my dog?
All social media is at Tsitsi Chiumya. That's TSITSICHIUMYA. And yeah, and I'm a nice guy in the streets. And you can see all the shows.
He's a nice guy, Tsitsi Chiumya. Next time you see him, don't boo him. Call him boo.
This is
Wow! What a week.
What a week. This kid really kicks.
Welcome to WOW What a Week, part of the Africa Podcast Network. Reach us at wow@africapodcastnetwork.com, WAW@africapodcastnetwork.com. We dream of being on cloud 9 while our next guest basically works there. Her office has an eagle's eye view above most rainbows and between clouds. Please join me in giving a rather relaxed, floaty welcome to Hot Air Balloon Pilot. You heard me right, I don't stutter. Hot Air Balloon Pilot. I'll repeat it again. Hot Air Balloon Pilot. Semakaleng Mathebula. Hello, Maki.
Hello.
Where exactly are you from, Rankua?
What are you hiding?
What are you hiding? And then you're like, let me pilot a hot air balloon.
It was meant to be. It can destiny, you know.
So you are 28.
Yes.
And you have a BA with joint honors in international relations and politics.
Yes.
How did you end up piloting a hot air balloon?
Basically, things took a very crazy turn. I was looking for a job in what I studied.
Okay.
Couldn't find it.
In fact, why did you go international relations?
So I had a passion for speaking truth to power and
yes.
sensitive issues. So diplomacy is where I thought my voice would work. So that's how I went on that route. I couldn't find the job. Durko people need to retire, please. But I consulted a recruiter who said, I love your energy. Let's try marketing.
Yes.
And it was for a hot air balloon company.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I became part of the furniture, part of the family.
Okay. So you started on the ground, basically.
I started on the ground.
Okay.
Selling this dream to people, occasionally experiencing it. And then when the grant happened, they were like, you know what, do you need to become a pilot? And I said, yes.
So what was it about you that said to them that she's the next one?
I've asked that question quite a bit. And I think I just exude so much passion for the sport even when I wasn't flying or anything, if anyone was to say, describe it for me, I had a way with words just to make you really feel alive.
I'm listening. Describe it to me.
Okay.
Sell me a hot air balloon flight. And yes, I know I'm too heavy. I'm 130. I've often
There's
been...
no such thing as
No,
too
you
heavy.
guys have denied me a ride because I was told I was too heavy.
No. Come speak to me. I will fly you myself. There's no such thing as too heavy.
Oh, okay. I love it. Okay.
So, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You're leaving Johannesburg. The gentle breeze of the Magalies Road is all that you can sense as the life flies by you. You arrive. The candlelit path is what welcomes you. You've got your pilot and your operations manager saying good morning, a hint that you aren't actually dreaming. You've got the gentle whisper of the lake around you and the blast of the gas pumping the adrenaline for what's to come. You climb aboard. The only serious part of the morning is the safety briefing. And then up, away you go. You're floating on cloud 9, the stress and desires of your life well behind you. Then shortly after an hour, you'll land. And to make you feel alive again, we'll celebrate with a toast of sparkling wine or champagne. You have a full buffet breakfast. And when it's time to say goodbye, we give you a citation for your bravery, something to put up on your bathroom door just to show others you're not like the rest. So would you come ballooning fresh?
Yo. I sound like I'm being proposed to.
We are the most romantic aviation sport, so...
In fact, how many proposals happen on a hot air balloon flight?
Oh, dear God.
Okay, because you got a nice big rock on your hand. Oh, did he propose up there or did you propose
Thank
up there?
goodness he didn't. So everyone seems to think I would love a proposal in a hot air balloon. Chances are I would be flying, so I would be working during my proposal. So no, but he did not. He waited for 2 a.m. when I looked like nonsense to actually do it. So that was wonderful.
Did that count for something? Being proposed to at 2 a.m. when you're not looking your best and you smell like hair food.
I think he was building up a plan where he says he has the plan.
Okay.
And he just decided that, you know what, I can't take it anymore. So we were both oddly up in the middle of the night. And he was like, actually, this is why we're on this holiday.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you guys had gone away.
We had gone away.
Okay.
And he was like, this is the main reason why I didn't want to wait another hour.
Oh.
So that's how he did it.
And she said yes.
I said yes.
Now, being a hot air balloon pilot, one would argue is very niche. Some would even argue it's for the rich. What are the challenges? What have the challenges been?
You know what? We can't get away from it's for the rich.
Yes.
Aviation is expensive.
Sure.
Ballooning is expensive. My little balloon that takes 2 plus pilot, R1,000,000.
Just the balloon?
Just the balloon.
Jeez.
We haven't got to other ops costs, gas, everything. So that is the biggest challenge that we're trying to get away from. Getting the funding, making sure that other Semakalings and everyone else can get into the sport. Other challenges is just exposure. You know, the industry has for a long time been something that was something you dream about and a once in a lifetime experience, but it is a full-fledged career. And we're not being exposed to that when you go to your traditional aviation days. So we're working on that as well. But those are the two main challenges.
So I want to be a hot air balloon pilot. Where do I even start?
So you would start with the Balloon and Airship Federation of South Africa,
Okay.
BAFSA, and they would redirect you to the balloon training school where you would get your pilot training.
Sure.
You'll do your theoretical exams, you'll do your practicals, and then once you've cleared all of those, you would get your P1 pilot license, and that would make you a sport balloonist. You're not making money yet from the sport, but you now have free reign to build the hours to get to a point where you can make money.
Yo. If I qualify,
Yes.
where do I even get a job though? Are there enough hot air balloons out there?
There are around 9 operators in South Africa.
Okay.
So you could fly at any province really.
Okay.
Our coastal provinces are more seasonal just because we know how Cape Town weather changes at a blink of an eye.
Yeah, you don't want to end up in Namibia.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
But there are sufficient operators for you where you could get a job.
Are there people hiring? I mean, I know there's some kid out there watching right now on some, you see, there's someone who's a hot air balloon pilot. I told you, Mom.
Listen, they are hiring It's more demand and what you can supply. Right now, there aren't many balloon pilots. So you'll find operators will actually bring in international pilots to come fly locally because we don't have sufficient pilots.
Sure.
So why not fill that gap locally?
What's the science, though, behind keeping the balloon in the air? Like, how does it work?
Remember grade 4 when they said hot air rises?
Yes.
That's essentially it. So another reason why we like to fly so early in the morning, the winds and the temperature are much calmer.
Oh, yes.
And then the hot air, the gas that you fill up your envelope, the actual pretty balloon of the portion, will retain that heat and help you with lift. And then we have a vent where we release most of the air if we want to descend. So it's more inflate, deflate to help you ascend, descend.
And I need to go left, I need to go right.
You'll go into what we call different wind channels.
Okay.
So think of your atmosphere as a pyramid.
Okay.
And each atmospheric level, flight level, will have a different wind direction.
Okay.
So you'll go into the different flight levels to get a different wind direction.
Okay, so you need to know the wind channels.
You'll look at your spot graph. It'll give you a general idea what the winds are doing.
Okay.
You'll arrive there and it's doing a completely different thing. So we always say the first 10 minutes of your flight is your pilot trying to figure out what's happening.
Okay, so God is in control then.
God is in control. If you are a smart pilot, you'll wait for Fresh to take off before you, see what Fresh is doing.
Okay.
Let him be your guinea pig.
Okay.
Then be like, okay, I see at run about this height, this is what he's doing, this is what I can plan my flights around.
So we've gone up and we've stayed up for however long we stay up. How long do we stay up there? For like an
For
hour?
about an hour, yes.
When we come back down, is it the same wind channels that you use to steer yourself back to exactly where you want to land?
So
And can you pinpoint where you're going to land?
we can decide where we want to land.
Okay.
The chances of that happening is about 80%. We will never, well, let me not say never, will majority of the times not return where we took off.
Okay.
The winds don't always take us back, but we'll have a general sense of where we are and know where we'll like land on Fletcher's farm or land on Pretorius' farm, whoever's farm, and then we can tell our crew that the winds are directing us there.
Why are the
meet
farmers
us
only
there.
fish in Pretorius? Why are there no Mathebula? What about Mathebula's farm?
Mathebulas need to take up the space, hey?
Oh, okay. So we need Mathebula to actually get some land first.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't put an X and say that's where we're going to land.
No, we cannot.
So it's not that accurate. How badly has it gotten, though, if at all it's gotten bad, coming back down?
Coming back down, I think when people think of a bad landing, it's actually what we call a fast landing, where the winds have picked up and we've, for some reason, cut your flight short or decided, you know what, we don't want to risk it anymore, we want to land. And I think it adds to the adventure, so I wouldn't term it as
Whose
a bad
adventure?
thing.
But whose adventure?
My adventure.
I'm not wearing a diaper. Why do you think I want excitement coming down?
No, because the basket will tip over. Passengers on their back, pilot does push-ups because we need to see where we're going,
Okay.
and it will drag.
Yeah.
And you're at the wind's mercy of that drag. It's exciting. You're here for an adventure.
Yeah. Have you ever had a oh ship moment where you're thinking, okay, God, it's over to you now?
I've had that during my training
Okay.
where I don't know if I'd say I wasn't paying attention or if I just wanted to test my own limits, but I dragged the equivalent of a rugby field.
So that means what? This thing is still dragging the basket along?
Yes.
And what are you doing or saying as this is happening? Are you saying, I'm sorry?
You're like, my mom's voice is ringing in the back of my head like, no, we rang.
Yes, I told you get a job.
But at the time, you're just kind of like, you know what? The basket is made to withstand all worst case scenarios.
Yes.
Let me tuck in and just wait for it to stop.
Yeah. What does a typical day at the office look like for Semakaleng?
So for Semakaleng, it is 3 a.m. wake up.
Yes, every day.
Not every day.
Okay.
On the days that I'm
On
flying.
flight days,
Yes,
okay.
on flight days. If I'm ever waking up at 3 and it's raining, thank God for the break.
Okay.
So 3 a.m. wake up, short drive to Muldersdrift or Magaliesburg, depending on where the flight is taking place.
Okay.
Crew briefing, preparing the balloon, introduction to guests, and then kind of reaching out to see what do you want out of this flight.
Sure.
So that as the pilot, I can give you your desired experience. If we've got a proposal, I will give you a recommendation on how best it will work.
Okay. So and is every flight a proposal?
Not every flight is a proposal.
Okay.
Valentine's Day, you happen to have like 3-4 proposals in one basket.
Jeez.
And we always say, do it on the ground so you guys have space away from each other.
You're going to be a basket case at this rate.
We all know, definitely. But yeah, and then we land, we do breakfast, and then it's back to everyday life.
People get scammed daily on social media where pages are offering ridiculously cheap flights. Is there a way of verifying if a company is real?
So if your company is solely booking via WhatsApp, it's probably a red flag.
Okay.
If your company is offering flights for 3,000 per couple, probably a red flag.
Hold on. So how much is it?
It's 3,000 per person.
Per person?
Yes.
Jeez, and I must add a ring.
So we've seen some crazy things, and when they do come to my attention, I tend to share them just to avoid people getting very disappointed. We've seen one, it was 3,000 per couple with accommodation. And
Accommodation? Are you sleeping in the basket?
No. I'm some lodge nearby, and I'm like, really, guys? Even at the rate of accommodation, that's probably your room for the weekend. Why would you think you get a hot air balloon in that mix?
Yes.
So if it's too good to be true, or if it's too affordable, chances are it is.
Okay, so if I'm having to pay between 6 and 7 grand for a couple, then it's probably legit.
Probably legit.
But I could scam you and charge you that still.
You see, that's what we don't want.
Yes.
Additionally, all accredited balloon operators are listed with BAFSA.
Okay.
And they're also listed with SA Tourism.
Yes.
So if you really are feeling unsure, just kind of pop to those two sites.
Now, you were featured on Reuters and CNN's African Voices Change Makers. How did that feel? Was it almost like a validation?
It caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
Almost that, because I think we were 6 months into achieving my license, and the country just kind of said well done, but not everyone was kind of like drawing attention. And to have those two international platforms reach out and say, hey, we want to give your story a voice, I was like, who am I? I think I made my husband read the CNN email because that came first, and I was like, there's no way, this is a scam.
Please check if they're asking us to send money first.
I was like, this is a scam, there's no way.
Yeah.
But it felt so fulfilling. It felt validating that what I'm doing is actually impacting others.
So what do you say to people who want to be like you? Is it worth the ride?
Certainly worth the ride.
Yeah.
It's crazy. If you don't experience a time where you want to quit, you probably haven't pushed yourself to the limit.
Sure. And
the sport will do that for you. The industry has its ups and downs and its challenges, but rather address them from inside. I don't feel being a negative voice from outside of the industry will get us anywhere.
Exactly.
So if you're
be part of
passionate,
the change.
Be part of the change.
Yeah.
If I can't look at Fresh and be like, hi guys, your podcast. Let me be on the podcast and voice out my concerns or my validations.
Sure.
So I think definitely come on board. It's awe-inspiring. Aviation is such a tight-knit community, but we're slowly and surely opening up the doors for more.
Is it a big deal that you're the first black South African woman hot air balloon pilot, or is it much of a muchness?
I think it's a big deal to the industry.
Yeah.
Is
it an inconvenience to some in the industry?
No, funny enough, actually.
You can be honest.
No, honestly, I was surprised. We have what we call Air Week, where all aviators come and bring their toys and just
show off,
be pilots in their own regard. And I was surprised at how many people had pitched into my journey that I wasn't aware of.
Yes.
Like they approached BAFSA and said, listen, we love what Sim is doing.
Yes.
It's come with a lot of responsibility. So it's first black hot air balloon pilot in the country. Then it's first black female hot air balloon pilot in the country. So double title, double the responsibility, double the pressure.
Not on the continent.
No, Captain Smiles beat me. So Kenya has a first black female pilot.
I was about to say, Kenya would probably have beat us to it. Because they've been hot air ballooning also.
Yes, they've been hot air ballooning. Captain Smiles married into ballooning, and she became a pilot with her husband. So
have you guys met yet?
We have not met. I stalk her quite occasionally.
Yes.
She's doing so amazing.
Love it.
She qualified a year ahead of me.
Where do we find you on social media so we can also stalk you?
So my Instagram is Sima the Balloonist, LLO on balloon. And my Twitter is _ Remo M, REMOM.
Dude, I was blown away when I was shown your social media. I was like, we want her on the podcast. Because that's what we want. We want African kids, in inverted commas, that are doing great things, that are breaking boundaries, and that are saying, listen, I can also do this.
Perfect. I'm glad it's actually doing what it's intended to do.
Yes.
I'm not a very visual person. You also can't fly and take selfies, but I'm trying.
One day is one day.
One day is one day.
I see you brought a gift. What is this?
Yes, so I brought a gift. I was mentioning that your first episode mentioned something about time.
Yes.
I tend to fixate on time and it never goes my way. I started my journey pre-COVID and then I got about a year taken away from my journey.
So dope.
So I made you a clock.
Oh, thank you.
I hope your platform, your voice, and what you're trying to achieve reaches new heights.
Yo.
So that's for you. It's got Fresh's face on a clock with headphones, and then it's got my Sema the Balloonist at the bottom, so you don't forget me.
No, absolutely. To reaching new heights, Wow, What a Week podcast, Sema the Balloonist. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
In fact, in your honor, we'll make sure we're always on time.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, Semakaleng, the balloonist. And yes, she's black. Lesamakala.
This is Wow! What a week. What a week. Celebrity guest. Celebrity guest.
This is Wow, What a Week, part of the Africa Podcast Network. Reach us at WAW at africapodcastnetwork.com. We're scared to call our next guest a high flyer because she has a fear of heights. She comes from media royalty, but she's carving her own path through the radio landscape, making it look, as her name suggests, easy.
Sure.
So let's welcome the very capable Keletso Bonolo Modiba, a.k.a. Lula Odiba.
Do you miss back announcing songs?
No, but every morning when I'm in the car and a song plays, I will back announce it. Just do a time out. Sometimes, if I'm in traffic, I'll do that traffic report myself.
Shout out to the research. You know I'm afraid of heights.
We know everything about you.
Okay, let's go. I'm excited for this. Thank you so much, Uncle Fresh, for the invite.
Lula Odiba.
I made it.
For people that don't know a thing about you, who on earth is Lula Odiba?
I like to describe myself as a tall, long drink of swag. Maybe a Long Island, if you will. Tall, dark, and it just punches the right way. Wang tall.
And what drunk?
Wang tall. Yeah, but I'm 25.
Yes.
Beautiful, gay,
Yes.
tall, very ambitious, afraid of heights, as we know. I'm a radio DJ, also a club DJ.
Yes, I guess.
Sekilimo, Wang Zola. Mama's baby.
Yeah.
I drive an Audi A1 a yellow.
Why did you go yellow?
Because it's just a reflection of my personality.
Out there.
Right out there.
Like sunshine.
Out loud and proud.
Like, all right. All right. I see you. I met you in 2014. You were still a student. I remember you came to 5FM.
Yeah.
And you wanted to shadow me. And because I have an open door policy, any kid that wants to learn must come and learn. Tell us about that experience.
So in life orientation, it was the year 2014, like you said, I was in grade 11, right? And they said, you need to go and shadow whichever career path you want to take on, right? And I was lucky enough to had already known at that point that I wanted to be a presenter. I didn't know there was a presenter and a broadcaster till I came to you, right? And I was wearing uniform. My mom and I woke up. I go SABC. I feel like gating. Escalating. Security, do you have an appointment? We say yes. We did not. And we were really hoping for the best. And I'm so glad you had that open door policy. And I literally remember walking past Metro and then coming to 5.
Yes.
All we did was this outside the window. And you waved as if you knew us. I was even like, do you know him? Like, why is he so happy to see us? You didn't know us. You just saw me, a kid who was ambitious and wanted to learn. And you were like, please, come in, come in. I showed you my letter. I was like in April. It was Feb when I came to you. It was like in April, please, can I come just for 2 days to come see you do your thing? Like you didn't even hesitate. You signed the document and boom. And that's how we met.
And here we are now.
2 months later, I came by. Yeah.
But little did I know at the time that you were the late, great Eddie Zondi's daughter.
Yeah, you did not know that at all.
Why did you keep that away from us?
Because I don't want to lead with that. I hate leading with that because I want you to see me for me first.
My own path.
You
my own
know,
path.
and then I feel like it's like a nice fun fact, but that's all that it is.
It's a by the way.
It's a by the way, and it's an eyebrow raiser for sure, which is dope, but it's just a part of who I am, not completely who I am. So I was like, I want to tell him afterwards.
You often complain, though, that you never really had enough time with Dad, enough dinners with Dad. Let's talk about that for a second.
So my dad had 3 kids.
Yes.
He was initially engaged to my mom. I'm not ashamed to say my dad, we love a president, go metro.
Yes.
Eh, nagatabanya. Really? So my mom was like, I'm not doing this.
Yes.
They broke up.
Yes.
And then he found his wife. They had 2 kids.
Sure.
They lived together. I stayed with my mom. And by virtue of that fact, I'm assuming it was also not the best breakup.
Yes.
And they didn't have the best relationship. So I'd only see him once, twice a year if I was lucky. And it was ongoing like that up until he passed on. So I wasn't afforded as much time as my siblings are younger than me, but they know him better than I do.
Obviously, yes.
Because they were there the whole time while he was there. So yeah, I wish that I had a little bit. I wish he was here to see what the hell is going on right now. You know, like, you do fresh in that day.
Who's the president now?
So yeah.
Now, one of the reasons we have you on WAW Water Week is not only because you're one of my favorite broadcasters.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm actually happy to hear as many female voices as I'm hearing on radio.
Yeah.
We're hearing a lot of female voices, a lot of black female voices. But you just happen to be top of the list for me. And I'd like to just put my neck on the line right now and say, of all the women I hear on radio under the age of 35, you're right at the top for me.
Thank you.
And no pressure. No, I'm not going to give you a high five, man. Jeez, you've earned it.
Wow.
But like I said, it's because it's crazy week in radio land.
Yeah, it is.
How does it affect how you feel about yourself every year in March, knowing that here we go again?
Yeah. Apparently, makosonke na lose weight. Ikabo chen thing. Nah, hey. Like, not it with the risk of sounding pompous. I know I'm an asset where I am.
Sure.
I know that I'm doing well.
You're at YFM.
Yeah, I'm at Y.
When did you start at YFM?
I started 2019.
Yes.
I was 20 years old. I just recently graduated. Yeah.
In fact, let me tell you a quick story. So she shadowed me in 2014, and then 2019 she started at Y, but she had the presence of mind, also because she was raised right, to come to me at Metro FM and say, thanks for allowing me to shadow you back then. I'm starting at YFM.
Can I tell you about that day when I came to visit you?
At Metro, yes.
Yo, like, I thought you hated me.
Why?
I think that, I don't know if it was like maybe you were having a bad day.
Yes.
At first, I thought you didn't even remember me because I was like, yeah, I want to go to, I bought you ties.
Yes.
I was like, I want to go see Uncle Fresh and tell him thank you. You told me to read in front of the mirror. You told me join a campus radio station. That will make me practice and I will be where I was. So we waited for you. And for some strange reason, you're not the kind of host that'll operate up and down. You sit in the studio the entire 3 hours.
I don't move. I don't move.
We
Because
were
I'm there to work. Well, like,
Yeah.
where am I going?
So I thought
That's why I wear an adult diaper. Some of you think my ass grows when I'm on the radio. My ass doesn't grow when I'm on the radio. I'm wearing an adult diaper so that if I need to wee, I wee.
this man sits the whole day, we waiting for you. Eventually, and then I think who papete because as soon as Utwakamnyako, me and my brother got up and we came to you like, please, will you just give me your
I was waiting for knives to come out. I was like, why are you rushing? You know?
And then I was like, oh, did we offend him? Is he having a bad day? Does he hate me? Right? Then I give you the ties and you were like, yeah, I remember you so very nonchalant about it. I was like, shit, I think Fresh hates me, bro. Right? You know? And then just to find out that same year, you were invited to the Y Academy at school, at Y, and you used me as a reference, as like, she listened to me a couple of years ago and she's here. This is probably the same month where you gave me a cold shoulder and met her for what I thought was. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. It's been amazing ever since, like I said, I got there 2019. It's 2023 now. I started off on Weekend.
Yes.
A show called Throwback Rides, which was about nostalgia.
Sure.
So I did that through music, through chats. I mean, I'm only 25, but we can reminisce as well. And then did that for 2 years, moved to Nighttime Radio, the nightcap with Lula Odiba.
Yeah.
Did that for 2 years, and now...
So now, like we said, it's a radio shake-up season.
Yeah, it is.
Where can we find Lula Odiba on our radio from the 1st of April?
I am pleased to announce that I am your brand new lunchtime host.
Shut
12
up.
to 3.
Shut up.
The Lunch League with Lula Odiba and Caddy. And we're going to hold it down. It's going to be so amazing. It encompasses fashion, food, culture, being young, being queer, being beautiful, being brave, being fearful, and just overcoming everything.
Yo.
I know, right?
Yo.
Yeah.
So you get the call, we need to speak.
Yeah, I got the call, we need to speak.
And what were you anticipating when they called?
Lunch.
Yeah.
I will say we had to wait for Tap to leave though, hey?
Oh, yes.
I love Tap to bits, mara yo. Yeah. So this year it happened. Tap is flying high somewhere else, and that created room because then the lunchtime, I'm sure I can say because the announcement is happening as this thing drops.
Yes.
So the lunchtime then moved to breakfast.
Oh, nice.
And the new natural decision was to move me to lunch. There was nobody else fresh.
But surely the freedom that comes with evening and nighttime radio is almost snatched from you when you move to midday.
It's funny you say that. So my co-host and I was talking about how Brazil bajali tsebe, ne?
Yeah.
Then and Kim
What do you mean they eat ears in Brazil?
So it's part of their delicacies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose ears?
They didn't say, it said trotters and ears. I don't know if it's human
Okay,
ears.
no, then it would be
An animal
ears.
ear,
I was
right?
a bit worried.
So o ka e ja tsebe.
Yeah.
Are nna nkile ka ja penis ya kgomo. Ke re, this is why you're gay. Ba o entse soko e. Ba ko na whoa, you on lunch now, you can't be saying shit like that. So I know that I will be a little bit more limited in like how I say things.
Yes.
Nighttime I can be sexual as hell.
Absolutely.
I can speak about head. Last week like what did blowjob blue squirt
Okay.
on my show.
Okay.
I don't know if I can do that during
Do you do both?
squirts and blowjobs.
Yeah.
I do not do blowjobs, but I do give head. And then I just squirt his head.
For real?
Yo. Ra-ta-ta-ta.
But you're in a relationship now.
I am.
Is it, that's why she committed immediately or what?
Kawan, ra-ta-ta-ta. Ongzala. Eh, ka thola lekgowa DJ Fresh.
Oh,
Oh, modimo.
oh my goodness.
O na le OnlyFans.
You are lying.
Ke mmone go Instagram ka re yo. Batlile ke subscribe. Mara ke thotse mahala. I didn't need to do that.
Got the factory now.
Yeah, so I am in a relationship with a beautiful, lovely lady. Her name is Ashley. Shout out to you, baby boo.
Yeah.
And yeah,
When did you realize that, you know what, I'm fine with coming out?
I don't even like the notion of coming out
Yes.
because it perpetuates
being who I am, yes.
the fact that we need to reveal. Like nobody asks you when did you become straight.
Absolutely.
I don't need to answer. That's why I don't take conversation where they ask me when did you come out. I don't answer those things anymore.
So you've been you.
I've been me, but I'm not gonna act like at home it was all jolly when it was time.
Hence I'm asking.
Yo, me, I was kicked out third year university. My mom was like,
How did you find out?
Fresh, if I tell you the story, I want to summarize it.
Okay.
This one year, I lived in Boksburg and there were a lot of break-ins, right?
Yes.
The last break-in that happened, I was in the house. My mom was like, oh my God, my child, she's venting to a co-worker.
Yes.
Co-worker, this guy, maybe mapansi.
Sure.
Profita, please come with your kids. So it's me, my mom, and my brother. Yo, he takes one look at me. Mind you, I'm wearing a dress.
Yes.
Something I don't do.
But you've been tomboyish. I mean, even when I met you in 2014, you were tomboyish.
They forced me to wear a dress in this.
For me, it was clear already.
That I was gay, right?
High school.
I would think my mom would know too. She's been in denial. So this guy comes out on my behalf. He's like, "Wena ntombazane, uthanda amantombazane wena ke," in front of my mom.
So this is the prophet. Wow.
I'm like, I'm shaking there. I'm like, he's like, you don't really like girls.
Yeah.
Your ancestor's male, and he's living vicariously through you, so you think you're gay. Imagine, like a diagnosis for my sexuality.
Oh, wow.
And this is how my mom now.
How are you feeling as this is happening?
I'm like,
Because surely it's like an out-of-body experience. It's like you're watching your
I
life
was
happen.
outside of myself. I was like freaking out. And we never had the conversation. But 2.5, but I'll be straight. That guy, you see, this is where the scam is.
Absolutely.
Sansa 2.5.
You are kidding. Oh, wow.
But he also made it seem like I'm in danger. So it wasn't just about my sexuality, it was other things.
It was ancestral and
Yeah,
everything else,
so my
yes.
mom was obviously fearful for a child. I patala 2.5 ke nna mo ke ya ko mfuleng. Ba tlo nketsa street.
So what happened?
I'm
when you got
still gay. I'm still gay.
there? So what happened when you got there?
I went there. They made me slaughter a chicken. We went to the river. They bang taba and tote snacks. It's jwalo. Then I drew the line more. Then I was like, I need to see a psychologist. I went to the psychologist. I was like, I just need you to help to tell my mom that I'm gay. You know, went to her. She was like, "Ngwala lingol." I'm like, we're not white. We're not going to do that.
Yes.
You have to sit here with her and help me tell her, because maybe if she hears it from a professional,
Sure.
she'll understand that it's not the end of the world. It doesn't change the values that you taught me. I'm still a good child. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
You're a good human being.
A good human being. And that didn't work. And
And you can't fix gay.
you can't.
Because nothing
Nothing's
is broken.
broken.
Jinx.
Pour me a Coke. And so my mom was like, nah, dog. She kicks me out. Obviously, she was upset. I'm sure she also didn't understand. I don't even blame her.
Sure.
You know, and so I moved to Res Gabanaki resourceful. Like now, Chomiko SRC, I tell him I don't have a financial situation, but my mom has now kicked me out. 'Cause
Sure.
I'm gay.
Yeah.
I stayed at Res for free for 6 months. The second half of my last year, my grades got better. My radio got better. I got hired at YFM in those 6 months. So it was a blessing in disguise.
Okay, so in fact, it was part of the journey.
It was a part of the journey. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Because you almost became a better version of yourself within that turmoil.
Exactly.
And often your turmoil is your transition. You know, I often say, don't think you're on fire. Maybe you're a phoenix and it's a rebirth. I can't drop the mic because
Yeah.
I have to carry on. But speaking of varsity,
Yeah.
you double majored.
Yeah, I did.
Media studies and anthropology.
Hey, y'all did your research. Damn.
Does anthropology, because I believe anyone in the arts ought to study anthropology because it gives you a better understanding of not only who you are, but who we are.
Exactly.
And how you can talk about us, the collective, versus other collectives. Are you finding that you are possibly a better radio person because of the anthropology?
Yes, I am. Just going to varsity as a whole, especially studying a BA, because the media studies taught me obviously the industry, what matters, but the study of human behavior, which is what anthropology is, taught me how to speak, how to understand, how to write about people's behaviors in an objective way, not subjectively. And yeah, like I'm able to speak better, I'm able to understand better, and it really has helped out.
In fact, I was going to say, don't you find that because you majored in anthropology, your tolerance would be better than what other people's tolerance might be?
I think it might be.
Of other people.
Just a little bit, yeah. Going to school helps, guys. If you want to be a radio presenter, please go to school still.
Because a lot of radio people think, in fact, a lot of people in our industry generally almost believe my talent is all I need.
It's not.
And unfortunately, if talent is the only thing you're depending on, you're going to be in trouble. Because there's a kid who might not be as talented, but might have a better work ethic and went to school. Aye.
Please go to school.
Then you're in trouble.
Yeah. You went to Boston, right?
Yes, I majored, funny enough, I didn't major in radio. I actually majored in copywriting and in journalism.
Oh, and you think the journalism made you like ask questions as well as you do today?
I've just been a kiddo papang. I ask a lot of questions all the time. I was kicked out of catechism class because I was asking questions like, so are you saying my friends who are Hindu are going to hell? Because I don't believe they are.
They're like, Tato, out.
No, I was a child, but I was told that I'm a rebel rouser. I'm trying to cause trouble. It's like, but I genuinely want to know that are you saying my friends that are not Roman Catholic
Are going to hell.
are they going to hell? Because then there's a problem. Because I know people I'm in church with right now that I know are going to hell. But it's a story for another day. It's a story for another day. So the radio season has happened.
Yep.
You've got a brand new show.
Yes, I do.
What else is happening in the life of Lula Odiba? Catch on YFM at midday.
12 to 3, baby.
Yes.
So I took on DJing like a year and a half ago, and it's been going really, really well. It's like giga more than twice a weekend, you know, hey?
Are you doing twice a week already?
More than.
Oh, wow.
So the DJing thing's going really well. And I'm also like a model. So I do commercials. the advert.
Where can we see you? Which commercial are you in?
I'm on a Google ad, a KFC ad. That's all for now. But more's coming.
Hey, listen, you've got more fingers. You'll be adding more.
There's coming. Yes. So other than, I want to get into music too. But I just feel like I'm not ready. I don't want to when I'm not there completely.
Yes. No, you have to be ready.
I want to be, but I'm not at the moment. But yeah.
You learned how to beatbox watching TV.
I did.
Please give us a sample.
Yeah, I have this tongue piercing now. I can't beatbox anymore.
How does that affect intimacy in your relationship? I'm asking for.
I thought you wouldn't ask. It is amazing. Okay.
So do I need to pierce my tongue?
If you want to keep that girl happy. Yeah, I can't believe I can't beatbox anymore because of my tongue piercing. But
do what you can within that limitation.
Fresh. Boom, boom.
Let's go.
Are you gonna rap?
I am rapping, but I can't rap.
I win a mat.
The cat sat on the mat.
Yeah, well.
Really? That hat. Because he did the scat. With the machine gun went rat-a-tat-tat. No, remember you don't do pee.
Oh.
Eh? Already was with me say pee. What's I eat?
Cut.
How?
You're the worst.
So we're going to play a game.
Oh.
It's called the WAW game. Right?
Wow. Okay.
It's called the WAW game. We'll give you a scenario. We need you to give us an answer.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go.
Wow, what a man. Who was the first man that had influence on you?
DJ Fresh.
You're like,
but it's a fact though.
how?
Because men are trash except for you.
Hebanna.
Hey, yeah.
But what do they do? What do we do? Because I'm part of men, so what do we do?
You're different, Fresh.
Hebanna.
Like when I live voice velvety, you feel like a cushion and marshmallows, you know, like you're good at what you do. Okay, if I'm being serious, it's my brother, right? My brother, he was the first cool guy that I ever saw.
Yes.
He's always been, like, he was the first deputy head boy in his high school. Very supportive, my biggest fan, runner up to you. And he's just...
Nobody's a bigger fan of Lula.
They knew.
I am. Nobody.
Yeah. But he's just such a solid guy. Yeah.
He's an oak.
He's a what a man.
Wow, what a waste of ink. You're very tatted up.
I am.
Is there any tat you look at and you're like, what was I thinking here?
I have the stupid microphone on my hand because I thought it would like solidify my career, and now it just looks so ugly.
Yeah.
It's out of place. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
I get right.
Yeah. So what are you going to do? You're going to cover the mic up?
No, it's too late.
But also don't cover the mic up because it might symbolize you covering your voice.
Wabo?
Exactly.
No,
No, it's a horrible mic. Who did that? There should be tattoo jail.
I never get the
No, but there needs to be tattoo jail for artists that encourage you to do something that actually doesn't look nice at all.
Yeah, I don't have anyone's name on my body, so
Yet.
no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
June 16, 2014, which is his death date. So
Yes.
it was my first tattoo.
Wow, what a courageous moment. So you have Courage, the Cowardly Dog as one of your tattoos. Which moment in your life do you look back at and you say, geez, I was courageous?
This is when I was like, fuck it. I don't care if you kick me out. I'm out. You will know my truth, whether you like it or not, but I'm out. I had to be very courageous, bro.
What did you pack as you left your mom's house?
We take his kanka next.
You left with just the clothes on your back?
Plastic black. I got this suitcase I could sing.
Oh, wow.
Plastic.
Were you crying or had you just made peace?
I knew it was coming.
Yes.
Because, like, you know, I just knew it was coming. And, yeah, that moment was trash. But my grand helped me out. Pizza.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm 2-seater shit.
When did your mom come back around?
Actually, it was that same year. She kicked me out, like, I think it took us 6 months for her to come around. And we never had the conversation. It was just like, Hutahai.
Also, you guys still haven't discussed it.
She thinks my girlfriend is my bestie. She's not.
Are you saying she's, to a certain extent, still in denial about this?
Very much so. When I moved in with my girlfriend, she asked me, like, which room are you going to sleep in? Really? What?
Are you done trying to convince her, or you figure let her deal with it how she's dealing with it?
I'm letting her deal with it. I'm not in the business of convincing people to do anything. I'm not in the business of persuasion, so I'm not gonna persuade for me to be me. Like maybe before, but
Wow, what a dad song! Which song to you represents the late Eddie Zondi?
There's two.
Don't say Dandelion.
Next baby.
Oh, go. Let's go.
Dandelion. Do you recall the time you captured this all of mine? Out in a field full of dandelions. You are my light, you're my sunshine. And then,
Beautiful.
yeah. And then the second one is, of course, the last song he played in his closing link in 2014 on June 16.
Yeah.
This is the last time Teddy Pendergrass.
This is
Because everyone was like, oh, he knew he was
you will have to
cry. We are not together now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Did you ever want to call him as a dad as Dandelion?
I didn't know about the Dandelion thing until he died. I was like, he said, what? That's ghetto, bro. But now, because now I never bumped him. Yeah.
Wow, what a name drop. Have you ever had to drop his name or been tempted to drop his name?
Yo, I dropped that nigga's name so many times, but I stopped. I used to do it when I was younger.
Yes.
When I met Tab,
Yeah.
go Boxburg High, when he came to tap my school.
Yes.
I was like, Tap, what's that? Oh. And I watched back to those videos and I cringe. I'm like, oh. I stopped.
Yeah.
By the time I was out of high school, I didn't name drop anymore.
Wow. Why me? What have you done or said on air that you look back and you're like, what was I doing?
Oh my gosh. On air?
Yeah.
Mara ke professional ke tshwana le wena. Ai mara wena o kile wa re msoonery. And you refused to apologize. Why did you not just apologize?
You know what? What?
Okay. I don't think I have a moment like that. I don't think I have a moment that I was like, oh, I wish I didn't say that.
Wow, what a radio show. Which radio show often reminded you that this is what I want to do?
When I get a voice note from a person that says, I've been home, but I can't get out of my car because I want to hear what you have to say.
Sure.
I'm convincing you to keep it locked. That means you're so interested. And what I'm saying is going to be a memory in your life.
Sure.
I love that. Yeah, when I realized that, like,
No, I agree with you on that, but I also mean a radio show you used to listen to.
oh, a radio show that I used to listen to.
Yeah. Or maybe still do. Although many are actually crap right now. I know, it's bad.
Top 5 worst?
Yo. No, it's bad. Hey, where do you start?
Okay,
Where do you start?
we'll come back to that. But a show that I listen to that I think is just epic. For me, there isn't at the moment. But back then, I want to give it to DJ Spoo.
Yes.
Right? And only because, and it's not even when I listen to him, it's when my brother used to listen to him. And I didn't even understand what was going on. But this guy was on the floor crying from a box that was making a sound.
Yes.
I was like, I want to be able to make people feel this way. So shout out to DJ Spoo for that. Like, yeah.
Wow, did I just do that for love?
Oh. I once took a girl to Thailand.
You're lying. You took a girl to Thailand.
Bruh. She was calling me a bitch on the plane. What's about aeroplane? But we still went to Thailand. I won a competition.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go to Ibiza.
Yes.
But we ended up going to Thailand because, visa stings.
Sure.
And they're like, I could bring someone. I could have brought my best friend.
So was it a girl you were dating or hoping to date?
It was a girl I was dating.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the craziest thing I've done for a girl. I took her to a different country. And I gave them my 20K each for my
You are
70.
lying.
Now.
Why did you not keep it and just give her 100 at a time?
Allowance.
Whenever she needs it. Well,
That's what I did for love.
Lula. Wow, what a fashion icon. Who, in your opinion, is the ultimate gay fashion icon?
Ooh, Karabo Poppy. Because we're cut from the same cloth, I actually love how she dresses, what she embodies, all the things that she's done. But specifically for the drip, definitely her.
Who's Mark Smurthwaite?
Oh, he was my first station manager at Voice of Vids.
Wow, what a mic moment. Because anyone that has worked at Voice of Vids will tell you that he's an epic manager.
Yeah.
He's an epic dude.
Yeah, he is.
Wow, what a mic moment.
When I stepped into WAW, he was at the reception, so I thought he was the receptionist.
Yes.
He went like Tsitsi Chiumya, ke re ntwana, ga nto etsa lang mo re auditiona jwang e kae? A re ka re wena you like this thing. Tsamaya lo kena ko studio ke re wena receptionist o na le authority ya mpeya on air. A re tsamaya lo kena. Then a few weeks later I go for my interview. They're like, Mike Smithwaite, the station manager. I'm like I'm just speaking to this guy. So he's always been cool. Till like he texted me yesterday. Him and I are very, very tight. I love him to bits. Love you, Mike.
A lot of people are fond of Mike. What is it about Mike?
He's so personable. He doesn't, and even when you don't want to talk anymore, he'll talk to you. He'll motivate you. He'll encourage you. He'll also prepare you for commercial.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a massive fan of Lula Odiba. If you've never heard the name before, Google her. She'll be midday on YFM from the 1st of April. She's one of the hottest radio talents in the country right now, if not on the continent. So I'd advise you check Lula Odiba out. Where do we find your social media?
At Lula Odiba everywhere. Thank you so much, Uncle Fred.
For those that don't know about the Lula Odiba, your name, English, Zulu, and what? How did you get to Lula Odiba?
So lebitso la ka ke Letse Bonolo Modiba, ne?
Yes.
Ko ntlong ba mpitsa Bonolo. One day in high school we were translating names. Bonolo is easy, we all know that.
Yes.
And easy ka Zulu ki Lula.
Lula.
Then I was creating an Instagram.
That is why the airline is Kulula. It's not Kulula. Kulula.
So I was creating an Instagram account, Lula Modiba.
Sure.
When I logged back in, it was Lula Odiba. And I was like, I'm not going to change that.
I like that.
And then boom.
No, it's a dope name.
Right?
Yeah, it's a dope name.
Shout out.
Even for a DJ, which you are now.
Yeah, I thought if Casper Nyovest can be Casper Nyovest, I can be Lula Odiba.
Hey, but.
Wangto?
Hey, but.
Because that's a funny name, bro.
But why is it a funny name? I think it's a cool name. It's a very classy, very quiet name.
King in your vest.
Oh, the best. Eh? No?
Why will it DJ Fresh? Kabanus Tudla.
Because ke fresh. Ke a balo. Tshwana le kuku. Would you agree?
Ke kuke finge palunang.
You tell us. Ladies and gentlemen, Lula Odiba. Dude, I love you to death. And at your wedding, I'm dibs on the first set.
You know you're my dad, right?
I'll walk you down the aisle.
Thank you.
I will walk you down the aisle.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you, man.
Oh.
And all the best with the brand new show.
Thank you.
Kick ass. We'll see you on breakfast soon. I cannot wait. Oh. And it's coming. You just need to wait for the train and wait your turn and wait for the next guy to quit. Or they'll realize that they're wasting you and actually just parachute you into breakfast, as they should.
Yeah. Well, I miss you on radio. I'm sure all of us do. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening with you in 2023. I know you got some big stuff lined up.
Yeah, I have you on the show right now. This is big stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, Lula Odiba is about to leave the building.
Thank you, guys. Mwah!
Congratulations to our Brenda Mtambo ticket winners. You each get a double ticket. Lebohang Matlaba, Londiwe Mahlangu, Fusimu Fugeng, Lehlonolo Lephati, Kanyisa Nchengulana. The show is sold out. We'll see you on Sunday. So today we had good vibes, advice, and even inspiration to float away. On that note of, shall we say, lightness, we want to send good wishes to all the Christian folk fasting for Lent and all the Muslim folk who start fasting for Ramadan. Hope you all manage with the changes in spirituality, awareness, and waistlines. And hope the rest of you, well, enjoy whatever food you do and can eat. Wow, what a week with yours truly, DJ Fresh. Shout out Amped Studios, Africa Podcast Network, Pezulu works for the cinematography, our audio effects engineer, creative artist, The Flow Fraser, and our guests, Tsitsi Chiumya, Semakaleng Mathebula, Lula Odiba, creative director Kuvesh Mohan, and show producer Keletso Mudisakeng. Wishing you all a wow week in spite of yourselves.
This is... Wow! What a week.
What a week.